here we are, finally in Ocean Falls. And if you have ever even heard of this remote little pocket along our British Columbia coastline, it is almost certainly because of the abandoned city, or possibly the Bitcoin mine utilizing a surplus of electricity coming out of the old powerhouse. But what you probably don't realize is there is actually a community of people living out here. Of course, the bulk of the old city has been abandoned, but the handful of houses left are home to approximately 50 full-time residents and approximately 50 more summertime residents. And through a variety of alternative resources, access of course to the Pacific Ocean, and collaborations with companies like BC Ferries and Canada Post, there has been a population of people enjoying life here at the end of Cousins Inlet long after the abandonment of the old city. And during my stay, that is what I'm focused on. I want to find out what is life really like here in Ocean Falls and Martin Valley, the cities that the rest of the world have basically forgotten about. We have the rig packed full of supplies, we have the boat, we have the traps. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to do my very best to assimilate into the community, to explore as much of this inlet as possible, and more than anything, just learn from the people living out here. Phase number 1, got to get the boat in the ocean. As far as I can tell, the boat launch is over in Martin Valley, so we're gonna make our way through the old ghost town and over to where everybody lives now. I think it's gonna be a good thing. You never know what to expect just rolling up into one of these remote communities and announcing that you're gonna be staying for 16 days. So I hope some curious people come over and I can introduce myself and start making some friends here. And hopefully we'll be able to put the boat on a slip. Don't know who to talk to about that. Look at those old stairs. One thing I can tell you right off the bat, of all the communities I visit, especially these remote ones, this is by far the best boat launch. I have not met a whole lot of people that have been to Ocean Falls, but anyone that's been here, the consistent thing that I hear is that it is the best crabbing in the world. Well, we met one of the locals last night and she said the crabbing hasn't been very good this year, which is pretty devastating for our operation plan. So we're going out with the idea of finding where the crab are hiding. We have these 3 pots and 1 shrimp trap. They're all going in different places. Link Lake is spilling into the ocean right over here. That much fresh water coming in here should be bringing with it a lot of food. Not that there's a salmon run or anything that goes up there anymore with the dam, but this is gonna be location for pot number 1. Going on first, David, here we go. And just like that, we are crabbing. Holy smokes, have I ever missed ocean exploring with the boat. You can just see and do things that you'd never get to see and do anywhere else. Look at the overhang here. People just love going to the ocean to sit on a beach. I never understood it because can you believe that floating here in the Pacific Ocean, we get to go beside something like this. Just vertical cliff diving down into the Pacific. Yeah. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, that's a cool little shelf right there. Makes the guy want to go over and sit on it. The unfortunate flip side to these beautiful granite vertical cliffs is to catch crab, we need a sandy bottom. We eyed up a couple places on the way in. This actually looks not bad right here. Gonna head over and check out right in here. There's this valley. I'm guessing there's a fresh water source coming in there. It's like basically a almost sheer drop off here, so no sense dropping the pot, but there's a beautiful little waterfall coming in, quite a lot of water. Straight across. That's looking like a really good spot. Possibly some water coming down the valley, but there's a big flat shelf out in front of it, so we should be able to find a nice flat sandy bottom. Would you take a look at this? Absolute sheet of glass out here on the Pacific Ocean. Got a seal up in front of us. Just rolling into capital city crab, home of the crustacean nation. Gonna drop one of these pots here. This is looking like a nice bottom. Personally, I like a little bit of shape to the bottom, but crabs, they like a flat bottom, you know? So this is looking like a pretty flat bottom here. I don't know, this is really deep here. I don't think this is the spot. Let's look over there. I figured it out. The reason people aren't doing very good crabbing in Ocean Falls is you gotta come like 6 miles out before you find a crabby bottom. But this is a spot, I think. Let's turf one of these babies over. 69 feet. That's the spot to be. Okay. If there's crab in this inlet, we're gonna find it. And shrimp too. It's gonna be great. Gotta make one real quick little pit stop here. Check something out. Maybe check a couple things out. At first I saw some flags over here and something yellow. But would you take a look at this giant timber? Look at this. That is from a monster tree. Some type of handle off of something. You know what? There's more in here. Just out of happenstance. There was a house in here. But where there was once a house, there is no more. That's crazy. You'd think this burnt down, but it didn't. It's just fallen down. All the moisture here. I believe that Ocean Falls is the rainiest city in Canada. And you can see this is a product of exactly that. Pretty cool, this old bed frame right here. Wow. Now that we're building at Lot 32, I just want to repurpose things like this so badly. That old window, all the panes are still sitting there. Huh, look at that. That's crazy. What a nice big tree with a tunnel under it. Let's do it quick little look around on the other side of the creek and get the heck out of here. I can hardly believe it. The whole thing is there. That is just incredible. Of all that stuff I just found completely on accident, what caught my eye from way out in the bay was this. A little bit of flag and tape and that yellow sign. Anyways, I think that's gonna be about it. Holy frick, does it feel good to be out here exploring again. Just loving it. Here we go. Don't fall in the water. We scored at a garage sale this brand new shrimp trap. What's our depth here? 250. Is that a big school of shrimp up there? Going for it. We're shrimping. If that's gone in the morning, we're gonna starve to death because we didn't bring food for this trip. Yeah! And we're crabbing. Can you believe it? I have spied a shipwreck. There's a boat over here that's completely upside down. There's these two pilings here and then this upside down boat. Not that the water would get high enough to do it, but it almost looks like there was a boat tied up to an old dock here that ended up flipping over. I doubt that's what happened. Oddly enough, there's some railway tracks going out here. Almost looks like a place where you could pull a boat up on dry dock. I don't know what the heck's going on here, but this place is a dump. All kinds of iron sitting around in here. Let's see what this says. Fairbanks Standard. So that's off of an old Fairbanks Morse engine, I'm assuming. Well, this is a good size hull. And can you believe this is actually a cement hull of a boat? A huge one too. Don't see these babies very often. So, believe it or not, it looks like basically the entire boat is here. I thought it was gonna be just a hollow hull. No floor or anything, but it's all there. You can see a hole right there. So there was a prop on this thing at some point in time. I'm growing mildly concerned because we have 16 days of exploring here. I've done so much exploring on the first ocean day that we've only just now got all the crab pots in. I'm not done yet. Here's these old tracks here. I'm guessing almost certainly this is, well, it could be a loading area, but I'm kind of thinking this is an old dry dock. Check that out. There's a whole engine sitting here. I think that's a washing machine. This might also be the stand of a washing machine. Just not sure. And look at this old bottle. After finding that 1913 Coca-Cola bottle, I've kind of become a little bit interested in bottles. Can't tell you anything about this one, but it says J.M. de Fonseca Sucres, Portugal. And remarkably, it's broken. but it's still intact. You can see it's all cracked. That's pretty incredible. That bottle traveled a long ways to be here. And I hate to say, but I'm gonna leave it right there. There's a complete engine right there. Huh? First crab trap pull of the season, first crab trap pull at Ocean Falls. The anticipation has me just shaking. It feels like maybe 2 crabs in there. That's it.
Oh! Nice to see crabs.
Nice to see crabs. I think this is a male.
Really?
And if it is, it's a definite keeper. A keeper male. We're eating dungeons tonight, baby. Finally. Yes. We're actually almost the required size for an Alaskan king crab with North Pacific dungey. Some pretty exciting things to share with you guys. Today's actually day 2 of trying to figure out where the crabs are, and we've really started to narrow down where they're not. But we found a highly productive hole, and it's a really special crab hole because it has monster-sized crabs in it. I'm talking world record crabs. I think I have the 3 largest crabs I've ever caught in my life. Here is just a regular size keeper that we're getting here, and this is like, I don't have a measure here, but across the shell is bigger than the entire crab measure. We have 5 that size, and where it gets really impressive, we have 3 of these. This is almost 9 inches across the back. Incredibly impressive Dungeness crab. This guy tried to get me. He's still pretty angry. Look at that. That's incredible. It's almost dark, so I'm going to go through the process of cooking all these, but I have one more surprise to show you when we get to dinner. So we're just about to get into this meal and just gorge ourselves on delicious Dungeness crab. But I've got to share with you a couple of thanks. When you rock up into a remote community like this, you never know if you're going to be welcomed or not, and I am happy to say Ocean Falls is probably our warmest welcome yet. We've been gifted some beautiful wild oyster mushrooms from Eva, the wharfinger. Great big thank you. And by now, you guys know that Emmy and I used to work on cruise ships. Some of my closest friends are from cruise ships. I never get to see them anymore because they live in other parts of the world. But one of my good buddies, Yuri from Moldova, sent us this beautiful bottle of Moldovan wine. We've been saving it for a special occasion. Tonight is that occasion. I just had to share this with you because it's a pretty special moment in my life. Thanks, Yuri. Can't wait to try this. It's been open and breathing for about 15 minutes. It smells fantastic. I'm not going to force you guys to watch us eat ourselves sick on crab and high-quality wine. I'll see you in the morning. So the prelims are in, and I think we've kind of figured out this whole harvesting thing here in Ocean Falls, which is pretty critical for the length of time that we're staying here. We've also found what I think is going to be home for the duration of our stay, but it has the craziest climb in and out of here. Got her in 4 low first gear, and we're just going to grunt the old girl up the hill. Believe it or not, I have actually had this rig on the steepest public road in Canada, and it was nothing compared to that. That's by far the steepest I've taken the rig, but that's all part of assimilating into the community here. I found that camp spot on the satellite before realizing how steep it is, but there's very limited camp spots in a place like this. And it's very important when you're coming to a community like this to make sure you're not a burden on the community. So we wanted to find somewhere outside of town. And that's also why we've brought so much supplies with us here. There's no store, there's not really support. So the last thing you want to do is come to a place like this, not be able to leave for 2 weeks, and then end up being a burden on the citizens here. Speaking of which, it is garbage day in Ocean Falls. Not that they have a garbage collection or anything, but they have a facility open for 4 hours every Wednesday. So we're heading in to get rid of our weekly garbage. We've crossed this bridge a couple times with the rig now, so I know it's safe, but the first time going over was a little bit uneasy. You can see people have patched it up with just locally things. That's a pretty good patch job there, but this is the concerning one. Good old-fashioned stop sign patch. But drove over it, didn't even fall through. Pretty exciting moment right now. Garbage day is the only day that the bridge is open to the other side. Totally whipping the rig over there. Got the garbage situation figured out. Currently filling up our water. This is also good drinking water. But all in all, for a supplies run into town, things are going pretty darn good. I am pretty excited to say that things here in Ocean Falls on the destination adventure front are going exceedingly well. Interview sourcing and conducting is well underway. My list of potential adventures here seems to be growing by the day, but more than anything, I am just stoked to be able to share it with all of you. For a very condensed travel season this year, I think this is going to be just killer. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Destination Adventure, everybody. As always, take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Rivers winding round words in my head. Shivering pines say that summer is dead. Chest feels hollow and my hands are numb. Do my best to swallow all the things I've done.